Hello, and thanks for tuning in to True Crime with Venice. Um, this is actually a follow up to a story that I did about a year ago, and this was the story of 21-year-old Takiya Young. She was taken out by a police officer once she had left a Kroger supermarket in her area in Township, Ohio. And I think an employee in the store had stated that she had been shoplifting, um, and she had made it to her vehicle. She was inside of her vehicle, and two police officers approached her while she was still in her vehicle. She rolled the window down partially, and she was speaking with them. And the officer was trying to get her to get out of the vehicle. She didn't get out of the vehicle, and she ended up accelerating while she was still in her car. And the officer, Connor Grubb, he ended up firing shots at her, killing her. As her vehicle came to a slow roll at the end of the incident. And she passed away, and of course, her unborn child passed away as well. Well, they just had court not too long ago, and Officer Connor Grubb was actually found to be not guilty. And there was like an outburst in the courtroom of her family. I think it was her mom that had the outburst. And there are people that have mixed emotions about this, saying that she should have stopped in the first place and gotten out of her car. And then some people said she was killed in cold blood. They didn't have to shoot her and kill her. Um, and then others said that during the case, I think it was argued that she was actually using her vehicle as a weapon, and that could have killed the officer, and that's why they opened fire on her. But there are a lot of mixed reviews about this case. She was so young. She was only 21 years old in 2023, and she was also pregnant. So it's very tragic. Either way, it's very tragic and very sad. But I'm going to attach the video of the story that I did on Takiya about a year ago at the end of this video. And then also, please stay tuned for a clip of the court proceedings when the judge actually read the not guilty verdict for Officer Connor Grubb. This is a very emotional case. Another officer involved shooting. So tell me what you guys think about it. Do you think the decision was right? Do you agree with the jury? Do you think they got it right? Or do you think Officer Connor Grubb should have been found guilty? I think the charge was involuntary manslaughter is the charge that he was fighting. And again, this happened back in August of 2023. And recently he was found to be not guilty. But either way, he took a young woman's life. And that's very sad and very tragic. I don't know how he actually feels. I haven't seen any statements or anything about him speaking. But before I post this video, I'm going to try to see if I can find anything about any statements from him to see if he has any type of regrets or anything about what transpired that day. If so, I'll attach that as well. But please comment down below and share your thoughts on what you think about this case. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in to True Crime with Venice. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
And we have breaking news. A jury has acquitted a former Ohio police officer who shot and killed a pregnant woman in a confrontation over alleged shoplifting. The 21-year-old was accused of shoplifting when Officer Connor Grubb approached her car. He says her car then rolled towards him and he shot in self-defense. The family of Takiya Young became incredibly emotional just moments after the judge read that verdict.
We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Mr. Grubb, Mr. Grubb, you're...
The jury found Connor Grubb not guilty on all of the charges. He was facing up to life in prison if convicted. ABC legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer is here with more on that. Brian, this incident was caught on body cam video. So how did the evidence play out in this case? Are you surprised by the verdict?
I'm not surprised by the verdict. I think ultimately it came down to whether or not you believe the officer should have stood in front of that vehicle. And once you get there and you think he does have the right to do so, it's part of his procedure, whether or not they argued it was proper or improper. But if that's what the jury believed, then self-defense becomes very easy, because as the defense argued, that vehicle was a weapon that could have harmed him, and therefore he is justified in using deadly force. And so it seemed to make sense, at least how the defense argued it, and the result that we see.
Based on the reaction, obviously it looks like Takiya Young's family does not think this verdict makes sense. Do they have any other legal recourse now?
Not from a criminal standpoint. He's acquitted of all the charges that could be associated with this case. We know that there have been investigations. There possibly could be civil litigation as well if they haven't filed already. Don't forget that when it comes to a criminal case, the burden of proof is much higher, proof beyond a reasonable doubt, than that of a civil case. And so we have seen in the past where an individual is acquitted of criminal charges but found liable under civil allegations. And so if that option is still open to them, they could pursue that.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, thank you.
My pleasure.